invite you to sit with your shadow. Right now, we're in the in-between of years. A time to rest and reflect and think about what you want to leave behind, but also what you want to carry into the next. And if you feel ready for the latter, this one is for you. I offer you to pick one card for your next year to guide you. What energy is calling you forward? What truth is ready to meet you? Tonight, I'm working with just one deck, the Lost Oracle. A deck created as a sanctuary, a source of solace, a roadmap for anyone moving through transition, a guide that helps you understand the forces around you and the ones rising within, even if unseen. I always work with the number 3, so I'm going to shuffle and let 3 cards choose themselves, and then it's your time to pick one. This part is not about predicting your future. It's about letting your intuition find its mirror. Take what resonates and leave what does not. You pick the first card, Blessed Resilience. If you pick this card, you've already walked through storms most people never see. This isn't a warning, it's just a recognition. Blessed Resilience tells the story of Mary Webster, a woman persecuted, humiliated, accused, and yet she did not break. She rose, she endured, she forgave, and then she transcended. This card appears when your soul is entering a year where your past pain becomes your power, not because more pain is coming, but because you're finally strong enough to use what you lived through. It's the year you stop being defined by what hurt you and start becoming defined by what you survived. The rope around her neck is what once almost broke you. The broom beneath her feet is rising above it, lifted by the very thing that tried to pull you down. The cat in her arms, what remains loyal, sacred and unchanged. Your inner self, your intuition, and your softness. You are carried upward by the very lessons that once felt like they would end you. This year, your strength becomes visible to yourself and others. Misjudgment or misunderstanding dissolves. Your name clears, your path opens, your softness becomes your weapon, your boundaries become sacred, your self-worth becomes non-negotiable. Again, this is not about hardship ahead. It's about rising above the echo of past hardships. You are not the storm. You are the figure walking out of it, Try to focus on what is solid and real in your life. Trust the inner strength you underestimate. Practice forgiveness when it frees you, not when it excuses others. Let truth, not fear, shape your decisions, and step into leadership after a long season of survival. If you want to journal about it, you can ask yourself, what part of my past am I feeling ready to rise above? Where have I been mistaken about my own strength? What softness have I protected that is now ready to shine again? And what injustice am I no longer willing to carry into my future? If you chose this card, it's not the year you break, it's the year you realize you never could. You picked the second card, the Stang. If you chose this card, you're not walking into the next year like everyone else. You're entering it as a traveler between worlds. The Stang is a threshold tool, a forked staff used by witches to stand at the doorway between realities. It is mount, weapon, antenna, and compass. Drawing this card means your next year is a liminal year. You're not meant to move in straight lines. You're meant to move between realms, between the conscious and unconscious, between the mundane and the mystical, between who you are and who you are becoming. This year is where synchronicities become directional, dreams become messages, and your intuition becomes unmistakable. There are two different realms to this card. The inner realm, the masculine and feminine integration. Though this has nothing to do with gender. This is about your inner split, your internal dualities, softness versus structure, intuition versus action, flow versus direction, and surrender versus discipline. If you have been too soft on yourself, the next year requires structure. If you have been too hard on yourself, your next year requires softness. The Stang says your power comes from balance, not extremes. The second realm is the outer realm, the spiritual crossing. The Stang is traditionally used as a symbolic mount for spirit flight, a tool that marks the crossing between realms. Next year, your intuition will sharpen in strange ways. Vivid dreams, symbols appearing repeatedly, synchronicities. This is not aesthetic spirituality. This is deep witchcraft. Your subconscious will be loud. Your dreams will not be random. Your instincts will call you toward your next path before logic understands why. In the next year, your path is revealed not through force, but through alignment. If you want to journal about this, ask yourself, where do my soft places need structure? Where do my structured places need softness? What dreams, symbols, or synchronicities have followed me? What reality am I being invited to step into? And what is my intuition whispering that I've been ignoring? If you chose this card, your next year is a threshold year where you become the bridge between your inner worlds and the outer. You chose the third card, Phenomenon. If you chose this card, you are stepping into a year where the universe does not whisper, it responds. Phenomenon is a card of arrival. It appears when someone has already survived the storms, built their resilience, integrated their shadows, and now stands ready for what most people only dream about. A youth turning potential into reality. This card carries Luna in solar union, the moon's internal wisdom, and the sun's external radiance. It says, the next year is the year where your inner illumination becomes outer impact. The woman in the heart is sky-clad, touching the moon not as a worshipper, but as a conduit. She's not asking the moon for power. She's drawing it in and sending it back amplified. This is the ritual of drawing down the moon, a transference of lunar intuition into embodied human power. You are not meant to simply receive magic this year. You are meant to be the magic. Behind the woman stands an ancient stone ark, a mythic portal used for millennia to mark the crossing from the ordinary to the sacred. This is not symbolic for you. In the next year, you are stepping through a gate, and on the other side, creativity, boldness, opportunities that fit you because they need someone like you. The card says, make the decision now and trust your choice. It is supported. Your next year is the year where you express instead of suppress. You take up space instead of shrinking. You innovate instead of imitate. You share your craft without fear. You act on the idea, not just think it. You let your weird, your power, your brilliance be seen. This is your creator year, your visibility year. If you want to journal about this, you can ask yourself, what extraordinary version of myself am I finally ready to embody? Where have I been dimming my brilliance to stay safe? What creative or spiritual expression am I being called to reveal? What door is open in my life that I've been afraid to walk through? And what would shift if I treated myself as a phenomenon? If you chose this card, the next year is the year you stop hiding your brilliance, and the universe starts responding to it. We just explored 3 very different energies, 3 cards, 3 paths, and maybe 3 versions of you. But remember, this is not prediction, this is reflection. As above, so below. It's just a moment that asks for resonance. If another pile tugged at you, if something in another message felt like it belonged to you, then let it. In shadow work and self-development, no choice is ever finite. We are always shifting, always unfolding, always stepping into a new version of ourselves. Your intuition knows more than any card ever could. So whether you chose resilience, the bridge between realms, or the extraordinary rising within you, you're allowed to carry pieces of all of them. May the next year meet you gently. May it challenge you where you're ready to grow, and soften you where you need rest. And most of all, may it help you find the self that's been waiting inside you all along. Thank you for being here and for trusting your own resonance. Sit with this as long as you need.